So, in fact, I was going to talk to you today because I thought we might just throw out some thoughts now being wedding veterans here. But I'm going to start with some numbers here. I looked them up.
Oh, gosh. I'm scared. I'm scared to hear what these are going to be.
The average cost of a Chicago wedding is, any guesses?
Ooh, $37,000.
$60,800.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Chicagoist Magazine's latest survey on that. But you scoff at that, but then I thought Minneapolis is no rural town. Average cost of a wedding in Minneapolis in 2021 was $31,700. That's according to Wedding Report, which actually, to me, in 2021, things still might have been a little slow. Maybe people not going out as much as other times. So think about that.
Wow.
And then the average cost of a wedding in 2020, just across the country, and I thought this number was interesting, and they broke it down. So this is where I started to see some interesting things that COVID did. The average cost of a wedding in 2020 was $19,000. However, that was down $10,000 from the year prior. Wow. So, people were trying to do things a little smaller, maybe not gathering people, maybe not doing the destinations that they would like to, but still the average cost of a wedding being $19,000, or I wouldn't be surprised to see that recovering back to $28,000, $29,000 again this year. Weddings are very expensive. And actually, we were talking a few days ago about a friend of mine who threw a very expensive wedding, but now that I look up the numbers, I don't think they were way off the mark of what the weddings costed. But there are all sorts of issues with this to me. And one of the big ones that I wanted to bring up here was that, I'll have to find it here, but the average couple puts a little over $11,000 of that wedding on a credit card. So they may be getting money from other places, probably some savings, maybe some family contributions, whatever it might be. But in the end, a lot of people are incurring a fairly significant amount of debt. And that is just the wedding. So we have things that aren't part of the wedding, rehearsal dinners, certainly things like the honeymoon and traveling if you choose to do any of that. But I think that these numbers are pretty interesting. And while we're here sniffing at the fall, what I've also realized is that weddings aren't as seasonal as I used to think they were, maybe just in the summer. I know a lot of weddings going on right now. So I thought this would be a good time to break this down. And for people that are getting married for the first time, and I'll tell you what, I was probably in this camp too. You think it's going to be the one time that you've got this opportunity to throw a big party. You want to do it right. You want to have the wedding that you've always dreamed of. For my wife, she had some images of a wedding that she wanted to have. So you want to be able to fulfill some of those things. But I think both of us have talked about this, that we would have done things pretty differently. And it's not that I think the experience would have been any worse, but I also wanted to go to the extreme end here and maybe talk about some very cheap weddings